Welcome back to Sports and Ish with Misty V and Rachael Leigh. Today we have a special guest with us, Chris Evans. He is running back for the Cincinnati Bengals. This is his second year. We are super pumped to have him with us. We won't really talk about, what college he went to or anything like that for certain reasons, but no, we're excited to have you here. Thank you so much for joining in. We appreciate it. How's it going?
Good. I appreciate y'all having me on. Like I said earlier, I'm a huge fan. I follow the social medias and stuff, and I be commenting when I see it on my feed. But I like what y'all doing, and
we're a big fan of you as well. So we're excited for the season and to learn a little bit about you today. Misty's told me a lot about you already. So are you excited? How's the season going so far? How are you feeling? Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm really excited. The season going good. I mean, not the start that we wanted, but you know what I'm saying? Just we rally the troops and just, being a young guy, just leaning on the veterans for the, to which way we going and how we about to handle this. So I'm excited. My body's good, healthy, and just ready for the next thing.
Yeah. How does that prep work for you? Like before the season starts, what are you focused on to get ready to make sure your body is ready, you're focused mentally, all of that?
Yeah. This was actually my first off season coming up. So I kind of had to figure it out as I went. But I spent a little time back at home, running with my high school football team. Cause we have this strict, hard conditioning, like hell week type of 2 weeks. And I was like, I feel like I wasn't as in shape going into the first year. So if I come back and do what I know for sure is going to get me in shape, it's going to be what I need. So I did that.
So what was that? Like what was some crazy fitness stuff that you guys were doing?
We did, it's called co-captain. So it's our big conditioning stuff. I didn't really lift weights with them. I was just doing the running stuff. So the first day, we did a ladder, 10, you run 10, jog back 20, all the way to 100, and then you get a break, and then you do it all the way back down. And that was the first day, and usually at this level, we're not running like that. So I knew, if I go back and do that, I should be, in the best shape that I should be. And then once the season's going, you know what you're getting yourself into, so you just got to stay on your routine. That's the biggest thing.
So can you put Misty and I through some of that training that you had? Never mind. I don't want it.
Count me out. So I want to dive into some personal things I know about you. Let's first and foremost, I love your hair, and I think the first time that I met you, we talked about your hair. So tell everybody about the hair. I already know where it's from, but you tell everybody else.
Yeah. So when I was sixth grader, I was a kid who I just found my own way. I had glasses, I had this hair, I had braces, and I was just something I did. And then I always used to watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and then my dad had a house party, and I seen all his prom pictures with the hair. I was like, you know what? I don't know, nobody's doing that. Let me do it. I'm gonna just do it just to I just thought it was cool, especially Fresh Prince and stuff like that, and just whatever. So I did that. I had it my whole life, all the way up until this point, which is great. So, in basketball season in high school, we had to cut it down to make it sure it was a certain height.
Really?
You couldn't.
Really?
Yeah, I forgot what the height was, and the dreads, and anybody with the hair, you had to be clean shaved. That was we had a coach that was like that. That was we're all gonna look the same, sound the same, and if you don't want to do this, then you don't want to be part of the team. So I cut up and down, and then after I just let it go. But once again, the season, I put my helmet on. I really can't control it. I just do it.
Just put it in.
I know. Does it get in the way when you're playing?
If I put it on where it'd be on my forehead.
So we know that you are a running back for the Cincinnati Bengals. You are currently in year 2, but I want to roll it back. I know about your college career Rachael doesn't, I do. I was telling her a little bit about it because I think your story is amazing. You and I have talked about this. Everything that you went through at Michigan was just incredible. So if you wouldn't mind telling us about your Michigan years.
Yeah, so I went to, when I got to Michigan, I got drafted. I got not drafted, recruited as a receiver. And they switched me to runner. I played a little running back, but they put me in mainly running back when I got there. So yeah. I hit the ground running. I broke the record for the most yards by a running back in their first game. Like as an incoming freshman, we was playing Hawaii. So I did that. I was going up. Then I got to my senior year, and I got in trouble for academic integrity. Pretty much I didn't cite the right source. I didn't cite the source correctly. Pretty much they said it was plagiarism. And I did something like that prior, early in my career. So it was like, you're done after that. So I got suspended for a year from the school, so I couldn't play football. I didn't get any checks or anything like that. So, but I lived in the house with my teammates, and I was like, my mom was like, so you should just come back home, stay here, and figure out going to another school. But I said, nah, I'm like, I don't want to, I got two little brothers, and a lot, like the city's behind me and stuff. So I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy to go back home and just, you know what I mean? Like everybody else, like that I had growing up, they just come back home. So I said, I'm going to stay up in Michigan with my teammates. So I had to like do real stuff. Like, and I know it sounds crazy, but I like to cook and do laundry and stuff like that. Like usually I just put my stuff on the loop. They clean it. They got 3 meals a day.
Right. You had equipment guys taking care of all of that. So
I knew my check, my scholarship check was gonna drop on this day. Like I knew everything about it. But going into that, I was like, I gotta get on the grind. So I got connected with one of my teammates' family owns a Mediterranean restaurant. So I was the delivery driver there. And I just made, I think, $10 an hour plus tips. And I was delivering to my teammates, for real, and they like weren't even tipping me either. So I was like, man, that's crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's, you know what I mean, it's cool. So I did contracting too. After I look back on it, like I can fix like little knick-knacky things around my house, around my mom's house, just based off those hard times that I had to do. I was a contractor assistant. So I was like, he need this, I had to go get it for him, or cut this and hold this or something like that. So then I was a special teams coach at Ann Arbor Huron. So I did that all day. I was contracted from about 7 to noon, and then I did the delivery from about 12:30 to about 5, and then they practiced at 6 to 8, and I just did that constantly. And then like I felt like there was times during that time I felt like I had 3 kids in a family. Like I was like tired. Like I was I'm real tired. Like I understand. Like I'm coming home with like stuff from the contracting things on my jacket and all that stuff. So I'm like, this is real life. Like I gotta do my own laundry, all my tips and all. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad I got to do that, because if I didn't go through that, I feel like I wouldn't be like as good with my money and my time as I am now. You know what I'm saying? Knowing like the and stuff. So that's pretty much it. So then I went back into COVID. So I came back. This is my year. You know, blah blah. See if I can go to the NFL. They canceled our season because of COVID, and then we end up playing our season, but we only play like 2 games, 3 games, 4 games, something like that. And they was like, "Yo, Chris, come back for another year." I was like, "Man, I got it." I just took 18 credits to graduate. And just I graduated that at the end of that year. At the end of the year, and then I said, "Man, I'm about to go to the NFL. I can't keep doing this. I'm tired. I'm exhausted." So I did that. I didn't really have any tape going in, so then I went. All my teammates that went to the Senior Bowl, they were like, "Hey, if you go to the Senior Bowl, you'll get drafted." Blah blah blah. So down in Dallas training, I'm getting a flight to go back home to see my family on one of the weekends. And as I'm getting my flight, like literally, the director of the Senior Bowl called me on the phone and was like, "You want to play one more game?" And I was like, "Yeah, let me know when the next flight in. I'm out here. You know what I'm saying? So Michigan got my stuff there. I got to play in the game. Got to practice all week. So the Senior Bowl, all 32 teams during COVID. Like this is the only bowl game because of COVID. This is the only game that got cleared to be good to be in COVID-19. So
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like the Shrine Bowl, NFLPA Bowl, all those got canceled. So this was the bowl game. So I got down there. I got to interview all 32 teams. Got to all our practices in front of all the NFL teams. And I got drafted in the 6th round after that. And then as soon as I got here the first day, Zach Taylor was like, if you didn't go to the Senior Bowl, like we would have never knew about you. So I take that as a blessing, and everything that comes my way, I just look at it as just a blessing, and just to keep on pushing, because I feel like I already won. Rather, no matter what happens next, like I feel like I already won. I could tell my story and just motivate the next person.
Every time go ahead. Every time I hear that story, I have goosebumps. Like the amount of adversity and opposition that you faced, and so many people don't understand what that heaviness feels like. How much again, you're up against every single odd, and that's exactly what adversity is. And some people face it, and like you said, your mom called, said, "Come back home," and you said, "No, I want to stay. I'm going to figure this out." That's the decision that people make that makes the big turn to success. And then there are people that would have just said, you know what, I'm going to come home. It's easier. But you didn't. You stayed, and it was difficult delivering food to your teammates. Like that's what you did. And because of that, like the universe heard you. And I'm sorry, I'm a huge believer that everything happens for a reason. And I think you're an incredible athlete, just FYI. I'm extremely humbled to know you. So
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about, so all of those decisions were going on. You weren't able to play football for that short time, and same with COVID. Like, what was that like for you? How did you stay on top of it with kind of your meals, your working out, all of that stuff? What did that look like to you? Because you're doing everything now. You've got a job. You also have to, stay fit and focus on that. And you're already, probably thinking like, man, is this worth it? I love this, but like, oh, this is a lot. So like, talk to us a little bit about, what you had to do during that time to like stay on top of it and make it, into the NFL.
Yeah. So I kept a close relationship with the nutritionist at Michigan. So
nice.
I knew with all the stuff going on, I had to like make sure, like, of course, like I can't not do nothing for a whole year and then just think I'm about to get back in this. So
right.
So what I did was I got with her, and she came up with stuff like, so what I was doing was I was like, if I work at a restaurant, like I won't have to pay for food. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. And if I do pay for food, it's half off or whatever, or I get a meal. So I could factor that in, that I didn't have to use no money to get none of that food. You know what I'm saying? So I pretty much just built a diet around what they cooked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what were some of the meals there?
So the breakfast she had was like a wrap with eggs and bacon in it. Boom.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, sounds good.
With them, and then they had they have this other restaurant inside of it, which is kind of pretty much a Chipotle, but it's a different name. So you got your rices, your chickens, your all that, your cheese, whatever you want to put. So I'll just make a bowl, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. Or like it's a Mediterranean place, so they got like gyros and lamb meat and stuff like that. So but whatever she told me to eat, I pretty much ate. So if I stayed on that diet, and then pretty much what I did was when I went to the practices, they started the day with lifting weights. Like they didn't have practice, so I'm in there lifting weights with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting my I'm in there like, yo, you on your third set? Oh, I gotta get my third. Yeah, I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm in there trying to, because I ain't got no other time.
Yeah. Right. This is it. That's it.
Yeah. So then they practice. We go out to practice, and then they'll do conditioning after practice. So I got my conditioning. And then I was so I ran the scout team. So like if we're playing like a school, I would like watch the film and figure out what plays they run. And then we didn't have a lot of players, so I'm actually the quarterback in that situation. So I'm running around getting some of this.
That's awesome.
So I got a good nutrition plan. Well, a cheap, affordable nutrition plan. Rather it was good for me and not like I had something.
It's happening, right? You're getting food in, and that's what counts.
I get to lift my weights before practice, run around, you know what I mean, doing some whatever, and then we're conditioning after practice. So I did that every day. So I was in small. Like, of course, I wasn't in the same shape just based off time when I got back, but I was in enough shape to get right back in it. You know what I'm saying? So,
good.
Yeah, and you're backup quarterback now, so you know.
That was funny.
Talk to us a little bit about the draft too. How was that feeling? Like, what was going through your mind? What emotions?
Right. Like, and where were you? Like,
yes, good. Yeah.
Where was I when I went to Senior Bowl? I'm talking to my agent. We have a draft party on the third day. So mind you, like my biggest fear in life was, even when I was like in middle school, was like having a draft party and like you don't get drafted and then you gotta tell everybody, like, you know what I mean? Or they're gonna be supporting, but it's gonna kind of be like it's gonna sting no matter how you look at it. You know what I'm saying? As an athlete. So I'm doing that. I have a draft party, and I seen some of my other teammates, like they had draft parties the day before and they didn't get drafted that day. So like, and it was a lot of people, like, like
so heavy.
You probably I was wondering, they gonna have a party the next day, or like how does
right?
So I'm in there and I'm at the Airbnb. I just got my close family. I ain't want to have everybody there just in case. Like I wanted the people there just to say, just in case I had to say, hey yo man, it's, you know, we're gonna keep working like that. Like I'd be comfortable to do that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
And then we get about the 5th round. The Falcons said they was gonna get me. They had 2 picks in a row. So I'm like, ooh, I'm sure gonna get there. And those came past. And once the 6th round started, I took I'm stressed out, like whatever. So I walk outside and talk to my agent because he was talking about priority free agency just in case I didn't get picked up, because you can pick what team you want to go to if you don't get picked up. So I did that. And when I'm on the phone, everybody thought I was on the phone with a team.
Oh no!
It kind of like broke. Like I was like, "Hey man, I gotta walk down the street or something." So I got my mom, walked down the street, and I was just like, we were just reminiscing, just like we probably walked maybe 100 yards down and 100 yards back. She got some house shoes on.
You're gonna make me cry. You're gonna make me cry. This whole story is like. That's good stuff.
As we start walking back, I got 2 phones. One phone is for like my family and stuff, and the other phone is for like all the coaches in the NFL, like that I've been going back and forth with. I've been talking on this phone, like my agent and stuff. So I get called from a 513 number from my other phone. So I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, none of the teams got this. I'm almost not about to answer. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, Chris Evans, this is Zach Taylor with the Cincinnati Bengals. We're about to put the pick in, let you know you're gonna be a Bengal, blah blah. And I was like, man, I appreciate it, coach, but coach, can you wait like 30 seconds? I literally told him, I was like, well, can you wait like 30 seconds? And he's like, oh, we already put it in. So I was like, all right, thanks. I hung up and I started running. My mom got house shoes on, so she's like, I'm yelling at her, telling her to come on. I get in, I run in, I bust the door open and say, turn the music off. Like, this is gonna happen. So I'm yelling like, where my mom at? She's coming.
She's still in her house shoes somewhere.
When my name came on the screen and that whole situation happened, it was just like I unlocked a new level in my life. It was crazy. So, yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff that you went through, it was so worth it in that moment.
Yeah.
Literally.
That's awesome.
Amazing. So when we talk about last year, obviously getting to the Super Bowl, it's year one for you. It's year one for you. And you're with the Cincinnati Bengals. And now all of a sudden you are getting through postseason, these playoff games. So what were you feeling through those moments?
I was just thinking as soon as I stepped foot in the door, I was like, anything after this is like, this is extra. You know what I'm saying? Like I already, not saying that I got complacent or anything, but like when I got there, I'm like, man, like I'm here. You know what I'm saying? This was everybody's dream and goal. But like once we started playing, of course I was shocked. Like I didn't know what the NFL was, blah, blah. I'm shocked to see different players and doing all this. And when we started winning, I started seeing like the morale and everything in the locker room. I was like, yo, this could be something crazy for real. But like, I don't know. It's the NFL. It's a business. It's my first time, so let me not. Whatever. We kept winning and kept winning and kept winning. We get to the Super Bowl, and it didn't really hit me until we was like in the game, and like The Rock was on the field. He was.
The Rock is right here.
Sometimes I gotta like look down at my hands and like look at my arms and like look around to make sure like it's real for real. You know what I'm saying?
Pinch yourself, like, hey, I'm awake. This is really happening.
It's crazy.
Amazing. I love it. So so we're past the Super Bowl. We all know what happened there. Now you're in season 2. Like, what are your goals, your personal goals for this season, just on you? I mean, it's a team, but what do you want to see out of this season?
I just want to pretty much define my role more. And just, you know what I mean, as far as like whatever my role is and just, you know what I mean, doing that at a high level. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of people in the league gotta, you know what I'm saying, you get the best players on the teams, but then like once you get under that, like those are guys that all have a role on the team that make the team successful, especially knowing that we went to the Super Bowl and every single person has something to do with something that got us here. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I just define my role and just perfect it, you know what I'm saying? And just being reliable for my coaches and my teammates to be able to, you know what I mean, trust me in situations. But other than that, like, I just want to do whatever I can to make the team better.
Right on. So outside of football, what would you say your favorite sport is?
Basketball.
Yeah. We talk about basketball. So who would you say your NBA crush is?
Like, what you mean?
no, you look like it's an athlete that you look up to and you think, yeah, that guy, he's the GOAT, he's this, he's that.
Yeah.
I look up to LeBron James. I always looked up to him when I was little. I got to go to his King James basketball tournament when I was little.
Did you really?
Yeah.
What? I mean, that's how long that guy's been playing. You know what I'm saying? Like that guy.
It's crazy. He's going to end up playing with his son too, which is going to be.
That's what I heard.
Nobody's ever going to be able to do the stuff he's doing.
No, I got goosebumps thinking about that. That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just re-signed with the Lakers like a month ago or something. So he's there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Did you play basketball when you were younger?
Yeah, I was big in the AAU circuits. I actually met a couple people down here in Cincinnati. We used to play there was a team called Cincinnati Knights and the Cincinnati Lakers. And we was the Indy Hoosiers, and we always see them in tournaments and stuff like that. So like I was talking to this guy, he runs the Smith League now. I was like, yeah, man, blah, blah, blah. He was like, we play for the Indy Hoosiers. I said, you play for the Cincinnati Knights? And it was like, boom, yeah, you know this person, I know that person.
Yeah, you had a charity basketball game that I sadly had to miss. That was right after the season sometime, like a few months after.
Yeah.
So you have several charities, correct?
Yeah. I got I'm a big believer in just making the world a better place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And how we do that is with the youth and with the community and just bringing them together. So we had a celebrity basketball game with as much people as I knew in this area. I know a lot more people now, but as many people as I knew in the area that meant dearly to me, or would be good to, connect with other people in some way, somehow, got them in the gym, and then we played a basketball game, and then we added the scores up, added whatever the scores up combined, and we just donated to 5 different charities and did stuff like that. So it was pretty great. I had a good time, and it was DJ, music, all that stuff. It was cool. And the kids got to watch it, and it was fun.
That's great. I promise if you invite me next year, I won't do a CrossFit competition on the same day. I will. I'll be ready. Like, I actually even went and like practiced with my friend Teresa, who's a basketball coach, to like get myself reacclimated with basketball and like feel good about it. And then I was so sad. I'm so sorry I couldn't make it, but I promise, invite me again and I'll be there and I'll do some cool things.
Y'all want to come, y'all all invite it,
Yeah, absolutely. I did not play basketball, but I'll come watch for sure.
She'll cheerlead.
I could probably jump in and play, but you guys are probably way better than I am.
Yeah, it was some. You would have seen what I seen. There was some. I'm not gonna say nobody's names, but there was one.
We can't call them out now.
She was just trying, wherever the ball was, she was just trying to be as far away as possible.
All right, then maybe Misty, maybe you and I need to get in there. We're pretty athletic,
We're very athletic at the same time. So like, it's like, all right, you don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. You don't know what you're doing. Let's just figure it out. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was getting. Not about.
No, I remember texting you like, listen, I haven't played basketball since like junior high. And he was like, no, you won't be out there that long. It's fine. It's all for fun. Yeah. Thank God. Yeah. It's just for charity. It's for fun. Just have a good time. Yeah. Very cool. So how do you spend your off season? Like you just had your first professional season and then you had an off season. Did you like take any good trips, vacations? Like, you're thinking to myself, like, all right, with season 1 down, I have another season coming. How should I utilize my time the best? Should I take a vacation? Should I do this? Should I visit family? Like what was your mentality during the off season?
So pretty much what I did was when I was back at home training my high school team, I pretty much stayed in Indianapolis from probably Monday through Friday, working out, seeing my family, and just, staying up to date on that. And then also like my 707 teams, like my like pretty much Little League flag team, they were going to tournaments every weekend. They play from December all the way to like June, you know what I'm saying? So I just kind of, I'm a firm believer of 2 birds, 1 stone. So they played in Chicago. I went to go have a weekend in Chicago, got to watch them play, got to talk them up. Went to Memphis one weekend. I've never been to Memphis. I don't even know what's in Memphis, but I found out, you know what I'm saying?
How was it? I've never been to Memphis either.
It was cool. It was really, like real chill. Like it was like because I feel like it's like the South, like in Memphis, but I don't really know. But they say there were signs saying like this is where the South starts and stuff like that. But like there was really people downtown just sitting on the like benches, like with a speaker, and just like some older people too. Like they was just listening to the old schools, and they was just dancing or somebody like, doing on the trumpet or something like that, like in the like on the side of the street, like because their apartment and stuff's right there. So it was like, so it was just so pure and just like, so it was crazy.
I love Memphis. So I'm a huge Elvis fan, and that's obviously where he's from. But like the whole Beale Street scene, just going to, where Elvis even got his start, where all the music that inspired him came from in Memphis, like that whole scene is just beautiful. And the food, don't get me started on the food in Memphis. If I ate in Memphis every day, I'd be the size of my condo. Like there's no escaping it. Memphis, the food, and obviously there's such a rich history there. I mean, I really actually want to go back, but yeah, again, I think Memphis is beautiful. A lot of people haven't seen the inside parts of it, and I think that they should.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Chris, what music do you like to listen to?
Ooh, yeah. Tell us about your.
Also, Yeah. Do you have like a go-to song like before you get out on the field or practice or whatnot that you're like, I have to listen to this, or genre of music?
Yeah, I listen to this.
Great question.
Every literally when I put because I'm big on routine, so it's always the same, whatever. So put my clothes on for practice before I put my pads on, put my music in, and I play I don't know what album it's on, but it's by G Herbo and it's called Intro. And I listen to that. I listen to that and I jump into the weight room. I start my activation before practice. And then I know it's this song, and then I play this song right after, Cold World by G Herbo. And then boom, by that time my activation's over. I can put my cleats on, my shoulder pads, and my helmet on. I go out to practice. It's like that every day.
I love it. So, if you could share one big tip with any rookie coming into their first season into the NFL, what would that tip be? What's the biggest thing that you learned?
Find what works for you. I got to find what works for you, and then be a sponge with the older guys. You know what I'm saying? The guys that been through it all, they're gonna you know what I mean, they got the secrets and stuff. You know what I mean, little different things that you can get off of them. You know what I mean? There's a lot. The older guys, that's how I even got connected with Misty, because I knew that they were going to her. So if they going to her, I guess, you know what I'm saying? So I did that, and then just find your routine. When you find your routine, just stick to it, because you're only as good as your routine. You know what I'm saying? So if you do this, and this, do that all the time. I guess I'm superstitious a little bit, but
you are.
If something's not right or something, I can't, it's gotta be this exact way, or I'm gonna feel something. Right after the activation, we got a basketball court in our thing. I get this specific ball and I shoot it to kind of give my superstition, or whatever. So if I make it, I'll be like, all right, it's gonna be a good day.
I love it.
If you miss, do you go again until you make it?
I only do it again if it bounces back to me, because I feel like it's my superstition giving me back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
But if I miss it badly, I just be like, let's lock in. We got to lock in.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Do you have a favorite pre-game meal? Is there a go-to for you, to give you that extra boost of energy? What do you do on game day for food?
When we get there on the night before, and that's the big thing about routine too, because we have the same food everywhere. There's always a pasta bar, so I always get chicken, steak, broccoli, and then the noodles, and I get the mozzarella and what's the other thing called?
We like pasta over here.
I was saying, it all sounds so good.
I eat that with a Gatorade and a water, and then when we play at 1:00, I'm a big breakfast guy, so I just eat a big breakfast at 9 or 10. It just lasts me for the rest of the day. I don't like a lot of food on my stomach.
Nice. All right, are we allowed to ask you who your favorite guy on the team is? Can we ask that, or is that?
In terms of what?
Who's your favorite guy to go to on the team, period? When you show up to the stadium, the training facility every day, who's the guy you really want to chill with? You want to talk to? You want to pick his brain? Is there a guy on the team that you do that with, or?
I say Mike Thomas, the ball head. Always ball head one, because we got two.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mike T or Michael Thomas, because we have the safety or we have the wide receiver. Which one? You're talking safety. You're talking the safety.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I talked to a lot of them, but just him. He's been in the league for, I think it's his 11th year. So he was a Pro Bowl special teams player. He goes hard every day, and you know what I mean. So he know what it takes. As far as my role, where I'm trying to get to, that's the, you know what I mean, feasibly, he's the closest to that. So all I gotta do is just pick off his brain, and also he's our special team captain for a reason. When we're in the games and he's talking to us. He's the OG at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
He is. Yeah.
at the end of the day, he like, hey, yo, do this. And I'm gonna do it. I'm in year 2, so he's played a lot of football. So especially the first day he got here, he was just he told me his story, his background, was walking out to practice. And then I was like, okay. And then after I start seeing him work and I start seeing him like the atmosphere, he started changing the locker room with like some of the older guys that like knew him. Like,
yes,
because I'm new and I see some of the older guys, but like I feel like when like the older guys see Mike T, because he's an older guy too, it's kind of like it was just like you just one of us. Like, and then I got to see that all, format. So it was cool.
Yeah. I love that guy personally. This is my second year with Michael Thomas, and same thing. Like he comes in, and I love picking his brain. I want to hear his thoughts. He's got so much experience in so many areas of the world, like just life period, and he's methodical about everything. So it's time well spent for me. Anytime he has a conversation to share with me, I'm like all ears. What else? Talk to me. He's great.
He has a flag football program, like same thing I do, and we're gonna schedule something this next offseason so the right teams can play each other.
Oh, that would be so amazing. Oh, that's a great idea. Great combo. I love it. I love it.
So what are some guys not on the team, maybe on other teams that either you look up to now or that you did when you were younger or in college, that you were like, yeah, I wanna be like him, or that gave you that motivation to keep chugging along and keep motivated?
Yeah. You're talking about like in the NFL, like other guys on the team?
Anything across the board, any sports athlete.
Love it.
And honestly, anything. It doesn't even have to be an athlete. Maybe somebody that you look up to.
Yeah. I look up to a lot of athletes, but then like, especially going through my situation I had, I don't know when it was, but Derrick Rose, after he came back from his surgery and all this, and he came back, I think he was on the Timberwolves at the time. He came back and he had a crazy game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Of course, like Derrick Rose ain't the same Derrick Rose after the injury and all that stuff. But like when he came back and he had a, you know what I'm saying, a good game, real good game. Like, and the whole arena was happy for him. He started crying and stuff, and I got to see that. And like I felt like I feel him. You know what I'm saying? Because he was out battling that injury and stuff like that. He was, you know what I mean, the Derrick Rose before there's like, because a lot of things were on, a lot of scouting reports were on me was I didn't play that much my last year because there was a lot of games, and I was suspended the year before, so I'm not the same player from 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I feel like that he had all the people talking online or social media, like, can Derrick Rose like be back to that same person? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like that he went back out there and did it, and it was emotional for him. Was like that was like it did something for me because like I feel him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Did you feel that way when you were going through all that stuff? Like those voices in the back of your head, like, are you going to come back stronger? Are you like, is that kind of how you were feeling during that time too? You wanted to like prove yourself. You wanted to prove that to the rest of the world, kind of.
Yeah, I also ultimately wanted to just prove it to myself at first because at that point the whole world, besides, you know what I'm saying, my circle, like just turned their back on me for real. Like, you know what I mean, it wrote me off. So I didn't really care what they thought about me for real. Still to this day, I don't care. So
that's awesome. We love that.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Sorry, go ahead.
I said the people in my corner, and I just did that. So like when I got drafted, and the time that he came back and scored 60 points after that, like, and he was crying, like that's how I felt when I got drafted. Like I felt his how he was crying. So
yeah. I love it. So let me ask you something. When you were delivering food to some of those teammates of yours that weren't even tipping you, when you're just trying to stay there and trying to stay alive so you can get back into school and get back into playing football, where are those guys now?
Yeah, it's just crazy. That's I mean, I looked at that. One of them a couple of them don't even play football no more. one, actually two three had transferred like to a different school.
Yeah.
So I wasn't even the crazy thing. I didn't deliver it to anybody I actually like was good friends with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like not good for me. They just on the team and stuff like that. But like I was so mad sometimes. Like when I didn't get tips, like people literally. That's why I tip so good. I feel like it was just a calling. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
People was tipping me like 50 cents and like all. I'm like, what is going on? So I always have.
Not okay.
I got all coins, so I got like candles. Candles that were done. I put pennies, dimes, nickels, and quarters, and then I just when it get built up, I just put it all together and go cash it in. You know what I'm saying? So when I did that, like all that, like put the fuel in me. Like, yeah, I knew I'm gonna have the last laugh at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So
that's right. Your discipline, your hard work, your consistency. I mean, and sometimes it doesn't matter how much of an advantage somebody has, whether it was coming from money or whether it was coming from connections or whatever it is. In the end, hard work and discipline and heart. I feel like that's what tops it all, and you're full of it, so you deserve it.
Appreciate it.
You deserve it. So let me ask you this: if you could go back and tell 10-year-old Chris anything, what would that be?
I tell them that whatever all this stuff that you better go through, like you gotta go through it if you're gonna end up like how I am now. You know what I'm saying? So like just know all those bad signs and all those things where it looks like where I don't know how this is gonna work out. Just tell that dude all that stuff. Just know it works out at the end of the day. So all that stuff is just get through it and just don't never. You know what I'm saying? Quit on it. So
yeah. So to your 10-year-old self that doesn't realize how much adversity is ahead, but you have dreams. You know, we all dream at 10 years old. So to the 10-year-old you that has no idea how much adversity is ahead, you know now what you have faced, and we all know we're not done yet. But knowing what you had to go up against, what is your biggest thing to tell everybody out there? And I don't care what age you are. I don't care if you're 10. 15, 20, 25, 35. What is your biggest tip for succeeding?
My biggest tip for succeeding is,
it's a tough one.
I use it on, it's like a quote I heard somewhere, but adversity introduces you to yourself.
Love that.
That's what I tell anybody. Adversity introduces you to yourself because you're going to get put in a situation to where only you can get out of it or only you have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I feel like, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that's an Inky Johnson quote somewhere. I feel like that's something I feel like that's something Inky Johnson said.
Well, I think it's interesting that you don't, how you're explaining everything, you've learned so much through the struggles that you had. Not once said, hey, don't do this. Like tell your 10-year-old self, don't do this, don't do that. It's go through the struggles and learn from that, and you're going to come out even better, which I think is amazing. So it just speaks to you and your growth and where you are and the success that you've had and you're going to continue to have. We're excited to see all of that.
Exactly. So, cause like, if I didn't go through that year, as far as like financially, I would never actually know like the actual value of like working for $1. You know, I did in high school, but that was different. Like switching lifestyles and knowing the value of $1. Like if I didn't go through that, I might got into the NFL and wanted to buy chains and just waste all my money. You know what I'm saying? Buy a car. You know what I mean? Not have no money. Like you hear all the time, but that's just what I went through. So now I'm like holding my money or with my financial advisor trying to, you know what I'm saying, invest it and, you know what I mean, looking at the different things to, you know what I mean, make it work. So
I think awesome. I think that's the biggest change I've seen in the NFL over even just the last 7-8 years is that, you know, there was a time when rookies would come into the NFL and just drop money and buy cars and buy all this stuff. And the veterans weren't even there to say, hey, listen, that's big boy money. You got to wait till your second contract, like roll off. But now there are so many startup companies, and my friend included actually started one of these companies that started teaching rookies how to spend their money and how to invest wisely on that first contract, so that if anything happened, God forbid, if anything happened past that first contract, you had invested so wisely those first 3-4 years, you were safe as kittens. So again, I think that's been a huge change in the NFL, is that there's so many companies now that exist just based off what my friend did, that actually come in and teach people how to spend that money while it's there right now, in case there's not a second or third contract. Like, you have the ability to invest. Let us show you how to do that without buying 3 or 4 cars and 5 houses. Like, we want to show you how to make this money work for you for the next 4 years. Did you have a company like that, or were you just like listening to your financial advisor? Or
Yeah, so my financial advisor, like, you know what I mean, they're real big on like educating us, you know what I'm saying, or educating us on money, where our money going, the stocks, the bonds, and all this different stuff, before like we can know exactly what we're doing, or the terminology, not like, here's my money, just do something with it, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like what we're doing as well. That's what we did over this offseason. I went to New York to talk to them. That's where they're out of. So like most of the time we had dinner, we sat down at the office, and they just educated me on where my money was going and what's the best options that they think I should do. And they actually explained it to me, and then kind of, you know what I mean, said like, listen, here's the 2 options. Like, you know, they're both good. You know, I'm not gonna give you a bad option, but they're both good. Like, based off what you know and what I just taught you, how do you want to do this? There's no wrong answer.
Yeah. So Chris, I don't know if you know, but that's my background. So I cheerlead, but also my main job is I'm a financial advisor. So I literally know exactly what you're talking about. And there are a lot of people, not even athletes, that just don't know how to, or want to know how to spend their money, save it, be conscientious with all that stuff. So that is amazing that you went through that, you learned how to do all that stuff, and you're interested in continuing to learn about it. I wish they had more classes in college for that stuff, or even high school. I think it needs to start way earlier, but that's awesome, because to Misty's point, it wasn't that way years ago, and it's still, I mean, it's moving in that direction, but it's still, sometimes it's nice to, you know, buy a nice car and spend some money. So that's awesome. So you played basketball, you played football when you were younger. How did you start off with football? How did you choose to continue to play football? What drove you to stick with it?
Well, I just played football my whole life, for real. So it was one of my first sports, and I was a kindergartner playing with the second graders, so I kind of got pushed on the ground a lot. So that just, you know, me, Pitfield let me, and just I kept doing. I was always one of the better players on my teams, and I just kept pushing and kept going, and then it just turned to something. And then when I stopped playing basketball, that's really when my recruitment started to open up. I started going to camps and going to visits and stuff like that, and yeah, just opened up a whole bag of opportunities that I had, and
love it.
It was just, it was meant to be.
Love it. So sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
No, I was going to ask NBA stuff, but I'm going to like end it with an NBA question, but you keep going until you're done.
Okay. What do you like to do for fun?
I like to play the game. I like to chill out. I like to hang out with some of my teammates. Watch TV. I like to chill a lot, especially during the season.
Do you have shows or movies, or what do you like to do when you're relaxing?
I'm a big documentary guy. So I like documentaries and just watching documentaries, just about pretty much anything. Just kind of know there was always I like the documentaries where it's like, it's something old, but they got like all these old videos of like all this old stuff that happened. Not old, I guess, but just you can tell it's like, you can tell it's a little ancient, like a little, you know what I mean? Like the
easy now.
Any good ones that you've watched recently?
I watched Woodstock '99.
Ooh, that was a good one though. I watched that one. We talked about that. I was not aware that so many bad things were happening at that Woodstock. That was insane.
I didn't know that stuff. That's kind of when I was like, I ain't really enjoy hearing that part. I mean, I knew it happened,
Right.
but yeah, that and I watched the Manti Te'o story.
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy, and I watched Malice in the Palace by I think it was the Pacers and the Pistons.
Yep.
I just any documentary that pop on there, I download it, and we go on a trip. I just watch it while we on the so.
If you could pick any other team besides the Bengals to play for, who would you love to play for? Whether it's like the team, the players, or a coach, what team would that be?
It's a good question.
I'd rather play on the Colts because that's my hometown.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, and that stadium is phenomenal there. Like
it's crazy. It's insane. I got to play in a state championship there in 2014 when I was in high school. So it would be. That's always like somebody's dream just to play the especially if your town got a football team just to play there. And, yeah, because at the end of the day, the NFL is a business. So wherever you at, it's business like. So It's not really about if you want to be there. But if at the Colts, I want to be there if I had the choice. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. Love it.
Couple of fun things. What's your favorite food? Like type of food?
Fettuccine Alfredo.
Oh, okay.
With chicken.
Chicken.
What's your favorite holiday?
I'm gonna say November, Thanksgiving.
Yeah, because of all the food, or
because all the food and just family getting together and stuff.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah. What's the best Christmas gift that you ever got growing up?
I got a basketball court when I was 11.
What?
And I built it by myself in the snow.
Really?
Because I just wanted a basketball court so bad so I could practice on my free throws.
Oh, that's amazing though. So you love it.
And then put like a tire on the back of it. I think it was like messed up. The backboard was messed up and bent up, or it just wasn't right. So I put it up and I was out there in the cold just shooting free throws.
Oh, I love it though. So I talked about this before. Growing up, tennis was my favorite sport, but I didn't come from a family of athletes and nobody in my family played any sport. So I saved up enough money to go to like a local Kmart and buy a tennis racket. And we had like this really old farmhouse. So I would watch like tennis tournaments all day. Like back in the day for me, it was like Andre Agassi or like even Martina Navratilova. And anyways, I would play off the back of the house for hours on end because again, I didn't have anybody to play with. I didn't have a ride to a tennis court. I didn't know anything about tennis other than what I saw on TV. So I played so much tennis over 2 summers. I had knocked all the paint off the back of the house. My dad literally came out with a bucket of paint 2 years later and said, "You're painting the house. You took all the paint off." And I'm like, you should have been playing tennis with me because I had to use the house. There was not an opposable player. So no, I get it. Like, I love the whole basketball court thing. That's amazing. First of all, before we completely sign out, Chris, thank you so much for joining us. This was so much fun. I can't wait to see where the season goes. And I think we're going to have an incredible year. I really do. But let me go ahead and bring us out. I see Jason pulling up his mic. He's ready for the outro, like I'm here. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here for another episode of Sports and Ish with Misty V and Rachael Leigh. Make sure that you follow us on your favorite podcast platform, rate and review us. That truly is the most important thing you can do for us right now. So you can also find us on YouTube. You can watch all of our episodes there. You can also subscribe, rate and review us there. If you have any questions, comments, shout outs, just let us know we're here. Have a great week.